Okay, welcome, welcome. Okay, you caught me laughing again. Welcome to Tarot Spills the Tea. Another session. This is the follow-up, the part two, of Brittany and Ray from Love After Lockup. They are married. Ray was caught sexting another woman right after they were married. This is a tarot reading that reveals the truth about their relationship. Allegedly, Brittany's point of view. Let's get started. It's a lot. It is heavy. This one I would say is heavier than what his was. So let's get started. This is where you can find their whole entire story and you can find Ray's reading, okay? And it was kind of hard for me to deliver Ray's reading, and you'll have to listen to it in order to really truly understand why. But let me tell you guys, I clarified Ray's reading with my personal deck. I also clarify Brittany's reading with my personal deck twice. Okay? It needed it twice. So let's get started. You know what? I do not do this on purpose. I be so pumped, I always say, let's get it started. And then I have to remember, I've got to introduce myself. Okay? So, for those of you who may not know, I am Indigo Sage, an enlightened soul. I do have a spiritually based website at unapologeticallysage.com. You can also find me around social media sites on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook under unapologeticallysage.com.
But first, before we continue, what I need you all to do is bring your beautiful eyes to the bottom of your screen, no matter what screen you're looking at, whether that is your iPhone, your Android, your Cricket, your whatever screen, whether it's an iPad, a laptop, a notebook, whether it's your flat screen or big booty screen TV, whatever screen you're looking at. Bring your beautiful eyes to the bottom of it and look at that red bar at the bottom, and what it says is, this is for entertainment purposes only, and every single word is what? Alleged, and not to be used as facts. So anytime that you see this red bar at the bottom, the sentence inside applies.
All right, I know that my regular sages you guys already know, but we may have some new company. Okay, welcome. If you're new here, the way this works is there's 5 positions and then there's a bonus. I will explain each position as I go through them. So this here, what you're looking at is the past. The past position is represented by the 8 of Pentacles. The past position is very important because this is what the person is reflecting on and thinking about when they make the decision that they're making. And the question that I asked was, how does Brittany feel about her marriage after her husband has sent images of his penis to other women, allegedly? But, if you look at the previous video, you see the proof, and she acknowledged it. So it's really not alleged, but I'm just saying it just for kicks and giggles, I guess. Allegedly. Okay? If that makes anybody feel better out there, I will say allegedly. But we've seen the receipts. All right? The man sent his penis. So, with less than 30 days of their marriage, he sent his penis. Images of his penis. And asked that woman to, told her, here's something to masturbate off of. And she said she was going to NUUT and all this kind of stuff. and he said FaceTime me while you doing it. So if you guys want to know anything about all of that, go to the first video. Now, I'm going to move on. My question, like I said, was how does Brittany feel about the marriage to him after he sent images of his penis to another woman? So the past position is represented by 8 of Pentacles, and we are going to break this all the way down because it needed this breakdown that I'm about to give it, okay? So we right now are going to talk about the imagery. And the deck that I used was the After Tarot deck. Okay. I am all about imagery. My sages already know that. If you're new here, you will learn that. I have a lot of different decks, and Spirit will lead me to whichever deck to use. And pretty much for the most part, if I'm asking a question about after something has happened, I tend to lean towards the After Tarot deck. So this is the After Tarot deck. This is based off of the traditional imagery of Rider Waite. However, they differ slightly. This one is a woodworker who steps back to study an elaborate carving of 3 pentacles while holding a hammer and chisel, trying to decide if he wants to embellish his work with any finishing touches. First and foremost, these are the pentacles. The pentacles is the coint. The coint is what? The money, honey. I am not surprised that right out of the gate, Brittany is thinking about money, honey. That seems to be a lot of, I would like to say all that she thinks about, okay? And it's really, I don't, that's not appealing to me. But anyway, this is going to come up later. So just remember this. Let's keep going. The 8 of Pentacles in the past position says that there are still facets of your partner that you discover every day. You are acknowledging the time and effort you've spared to get the both of you in a position of popularity. This could be either positive or negative. This, in my opinion, refers back to her Instagram messages where she says that she should be a producer, she should have been had her own show. She's getting herself in a position to have her own show. Hey, congratulations if that's the case. But this is what it's looking like, and this is what she's thinking about. Because remember, my question is, how does she feel about the decision to marry him after he has shown his penis to folks that wasn't her? So she's thinking about money. Look at that. She's thinking about money and how hard she's worked to bring them to where they are. So basically, I bet you she's thinking, am I going to throw this away? But let me just read these cards. Okay, and I was telling you guys at the start that this had to be clarified and clarified again, honey. Because I wanted to get the utmost understanding. Because this stuff is kind of sad and, you know, and before I go saying that somebody sounds sad and depressing, I want to have a clear understanding. So that me clarifying this twice over is my attempt at understanding what, trying to anyway, understand what their problem is. Okay, and the cards tell it, the cards spill it. So the first clarifier, oh, and by the way, just in case, again, if you guys are new here, this is my deck that I am clarifying with. When I really want to get to the bottom of something, I usually use my deck that I channeled. It's over 160 cards, okay? And I show you guys the back of my cards just to kind of protect them and keep them secret and sacred, okay? So, the first clarification card is you are this person's preferred taste. And this card is a card that says this person is keeping their admiration of you a secret, but it was in reverse. With this card being in reverse, in this situation, this is saying that what they're keeping a secret is the opposite of admiration, and in this case, it's contempt. This person is keeping their contempt of you a secret. Further clarified by welcome to the club. You could have just begun to get notoriety in your career. We know that to be true because, well, let me put it like this. I know it to be true because I hadn't heard of these folks until this Love After Lockup show. Okay? And she feels like that because in one of her, and again, you can find this information and the receipts of what I'm getting ready to say in the part one that I showed you guys at the beginning. But in one of her IG messages, she says, "Oh, I haven't just now been cool. I've been cool. People been telling me I should have had my own show." So just with those three sentences being said, for whatever reason, she's talking to people who thinks that she's quote unquote cool. So with that being said, she thinks she's just now feeling like she's getting notoriety, even though she's trying to, I guess, essentially say she's been quote unquote cool. Notoriety and all that kind of stuff is in one's own mind. So by her addressing it, she's feeling like she's just now getting notoriety, and that was reversed. And I'm gonna tell you why I feel like that was reversed. I'm sure she didn't want it for this. She didn't want to get notoriety because her husband, her new husband, showed his penis to somebody besides her. Don't nobody want to get popular over that. Mm-mm. And she's feeling contempt for him, but that's a secret, okay? And these are clarifying the Eight of Pentacles. And in that image, as you can see up in the very small image now, in the top left, he was staring at his work of art to determine whether or not to add any embellishments. So he's staring at his hard work. So this is how her mind is processing how she feels about being married to him, because honestly, I feel like she's worked so hard to get there. I didn't know. I mean, the lady said she was writing scripts. She was writing all of that. And she produced the show. And she's working towards her own show, having her own show. She keep talking about having her own show. And now he go and do this. Let's keep going. So, in that show, okay, she keeps saying that they need to get married by the end of the year, and she needs to get pregnant. So here we are at present is the Empress, who embodies mother and nurturing energy, point blank period. That's, who the Empress embodies. This card points to love and work coming together, okay? And again, this is in the situation of me asking the question of how does Brittany feel about being married to him after he has shown his penis all around the world, saying penis, okay? Anyway, so it's this card is pointing out that the love and work is coming together, either with a co-worker or perhaps a new business venture. The new business venture perhaps is, if because she keeps talking about she needs her own show and she's getting her own show, she keeps hinting to that. So that could possibly be the new business venture. Sometimes it signals marriage or pregnancy. So I showed you guys their marriage certificate. So they are married. I know she also talked about pregnancy a lot. She wanted to be pregnant. She was kissing him so hard one time, talking about, I'm ovulating. And she was just like smashing her head and lips up against his head and lips. And I'm going to be honest, I ain't never seen something so horrible in my life, because he had a plain face. He was not puckering up. He was not kissing back. He was not participating in that. Okay? You could almost call 911 on that for him. That was forceful. And this was right after he came from the visit from her mama's house when her mama refused to see him. She had him wait in the car. She went inside her parents' home and she told her mama, he's out in the car. I want you to meet him. And her mom refused to meet him. You can find out about that story in the first episode, I mean the first session, but so she came out to the car. We don't know how long she was in there talking to her parents, okay? He waited in the car the whole entire time. She came out to the car and was like, "Oh, she don't want to meet you. Let's go home." So he seemed so disappointed, and rightfully so. And then right after that, she wanted to kiss him and talk about making some babies. And his face, it was blank. He didn't pucker up. He didn't respond. And she was just smashing her face up against his. I'm like, girl, that's girl. If you was a man, if it was opposite, people would be calling the police on you. You doing way too much. He do not want to. And he said it. He said, I'm not in the mood. You can't make nobody be in the mood. Anyway, his feelings was hurt. Anyway, back to the cards. Sometimes it signals marriage or pregnancy as it represents motherhood. This mother will nurture and protect all of her creation. Okay? All of her creation. So that in it of itself goes back to her idea of creating her own show. That's how I see it. It's clarified by apprehensive, say it louder, okay? This card may also suggest that in order to get your thoughts slash feelings heard, you may need to enforce your boundaries. When your boundaries are put into action, instead of it being merely mentioned or announced, people will sit up and listen. So with this, leaving off where it says that she will protect all of her creation, and this saying that she needs to say it louder, and she's a little apprehensive. We've already talked about, even from the past card to the present card, we've talked about her boasting about the show being her creation. And I'm going to go and say, like, their relationship, whatever that looks like, is her creation, okay? Further clarified by I feel like I'm drowning. It suggests severe sadness and severe depression, leading to possible dangerous levels of self-loathing. This card was in reverse, which tells me that that's a secret. This woman allegedly has a lot of secrets. These cards will reveal so many secrets. And like when I was doing Ray's reading, I felt sad. Well, shit, I feel even more sad with Brittany's reading. I really do. I really do. It's just a lot. It feels like a lot of things that she's holding in. And in his reading, there was a lot of things that he was holding in, but we're going to keep on going. The best that she sees of the marriage after after she discovered and seen that he's showing his penis to everybody who want to see it and asking them to FaceTime him for masturbation sessions, allegedly. Nine of Wands. You may be wounded, but you will live to fight another day. Now, this is the best. This is what she sees as the best of this. You may be wounded, but you will live to fight another day. The description of this card suggests it looks like the backdrop of a stage set. It also makes reference to the soldier's money pouch that he keeps close, and that although he doesn't look as battered as the other soldier, his wounds are on the inside. This soldier that they are talking about for this card, and this is so interesting to me, but this soldier that they're talking about is a soldier that's on the left. In the traditional Rider-Waite deck, the soldier looks like the one on the right. But Brittany is represented in this reading by the soldier that's on the left. Okay? So keep that in mind. And in the traditional Rider Waite deck, there's just the soldier that you see on the right, it's just that soldier. They don't have two soldiers. In this one, this battered soldier who's on the right was joined by this soldier that's on the left. Look at how he looking at him. The soldier on the left just, came up and was like, "What's up? You want to watch each other's back? You want to have each other's back?" So, I mean, to me, the soldier on the right looked like he undecided. But look, let's keep going because we're going to break down this imagery just a little bit more, okay? All right. So, the soldier on the right is more beat up than the other on the left, okay? And it shows outwardly. All right. So just looking at them, the soldier on the right, you can tell that he's a little more roughed up. You know what I'm saying? He got a bandage all on his head and everything. He got scratches all over him. The soldier on the left, if you look at him, he's more composed and his sleeves are all the way down to cover his wounds. But you can see he has wounds because of the blood on the sleeves. Both of them have decided to work together for each of their own benefit. The one who has hidden their wounds holds the money pouch. The worn soldier on the right looks at the other, the one on the left, while the other soldier looks forward, not looking at him at all. To me, that says a lot. And that's the best of it, okay? And we are breaking down just the imagery of it. Get into it. Get all the way into it, okay? Tarot is for real. Tarot will give you your entire life. Let me tell you guys something real quick. The soldier on the left that's looking forward, that has the money pouch, okay, he got a little satchel around his waist that holds the money. He's covering up his wounds and he's looking forward. He ain't even looking at the soldier to the side, his side. That's the problem. That's Brittany. You understand what I'm saying? That's the problem. The one who has obvious wounds and has something to say. Look like he got something to say. Look like he been in war. You know what I'm saying? And he looking at them and they just looking forward, not even listening. That's Brittany and Ray. And that's the issue and that's the problem. And this is why I love imagery so much. Because these are soldiers. So when you think about soldiers, where do we apply soldiers? War. They are on television on a quote unquote reality TV show. That's war in it of itself. This is how they show up. Whether they want to admit it or not, this is how they show up. Allegedly and all of that, in my opinion, blah, blah, blah. This is how they show up. You can't tell me this ain't Brittany and Ray. Okay? And that's the issue. And so the clarifier, the first clarifier for the Nine of Wands is the more points you earn, the higher your status. The more points you earn, the higher your status. You or someone is doing things to gain recognition at a point of valuing recognition over everything. So is Ray following her lead? She's gaining attention and so is he. But both of them are doing it for different objectives. The second clarifier is I love you to the moon and back. This card represents true and genuine love. The issue here is that it was in reverse, okay? Reverse. Which reminds me of the past card, okay? That was the Eight of Pentacles, and the woodworker steps back to look at his work to see if he wants to embellish it or not. So, okay. And then it also relates to you are learning new things about your partner every day. All right. So, let's keep going. This is the time and place where I ask you all to please click like and subscribe, okay? Look into those rose colored glasses and click like and subscribe for me. Also, keep looking in those rose colored glasses and click that bell, okay? And share. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Worst. So, what she sees as the worst is the reverse magician. Now, the magician is the master of the physical world, but in reverse, it points to greed, manipulation, and trickery. Because overall, the magician is the master of the physical world, okay? So, upright is beautiful and lovely, and there's a whole string of things I can say about it when it's upright that are all wonderful. Okay? The Magician card and the Sun card, for me as a tarot reader, I love it when they both come into a reading. They are both kind of the same type of thing, but one is just, they're different but the same. I love these two cards, the Sun and the Magician. Right now we're talking about the Magician. And the thing about it is, I like them when they are upright. He's in reverse, which points to greed, manipulation, and trickery. There's many different roads and avenues we could go down with the magician. So let's just get to the clarifiers. Hopefully by now you guys see why I had to clarify even the clarifiers. Just everybody needs to be clarified, and I could clarify more too. Okay? So clarifying the reverse magician card from my deck, the ultimate clarifiers deck, it's there are issues that no one talks about. This is the abuse card. There is abuse going on that no one talks about. It could be verbal, mental, physical, emotional, but it's going on. It could be narcissistic abuse, which includes all types of the aforementioned towards their victims or partner. This card was in reverse. That means it's a secret and she does not want to tell anyone. And of course, this is alleged, okay? I will pepper my conversation with alleged, but I will still tell the truth of what the cards say. No one will ever stop me from reading what my cards say. Okay? So this is alleged, allegedly, and in my opinion, and all of that. In my opinion, based on my cards, which do not lie. And this is not the only card that points to some type of abuse. Abuse. Okay? And so then the tricky thing becomes, since this is a reading asking how does she feel, does that mean the abuse is upon her or is she the abuse? And then it gets even trickier because she's the one who said that all of the scenes that you guys don't like me on, I wrote and produced each and every one of them, and I have the receipts. And as I said in the previous reading, like, there's still some truth to it. Even if you do want to let us know you made it up and it's make believe, like Sesame Street, 1, 2, 3, ABC. Okay, you want to let us know that, you was Big Bird and he was Elmo, whatever. There's still some truth to it. But besides all of that, I'm reading the cards. And the guards say what they say, allegedly all day. Okay? There are issues that no one talks about. This is the abuse card. So that's further clarified by doomed. Upright. Without a problem. Doomed card points out not only someone's looking at the situation first and foremost in a negative light, but also the card suggests this person thinks it's an ultimate failure and cannot be saved. Most likely, they won't take action to save or help the situation to turn it into a positive. They do not have inspiration or enough confidence to take action. This is in the worst position. So, in the worst, she imagines that it's doomed, all right? But doomed only clarifies there are issues that no one talks about. And then that's a hard card because it was in reverse. Like, I'm really not going to talk about it. And it clarifies, okay? It clarifies a card in reverse, which is the magician. And that in reverse represents greed, manipulation, and trickery. Let's keep going. Here we are at what's to come. So, this is what's to come as it relates to how Brittany feels about marrying Ray, after the incident of him sharing his eggplant. So, it's Three of Pentacles. Now, Pentacles has been sprinkled throughout. I'm not surprised because Pentacles is what? The coin. The coin is the money, honey. Okay. The imagery is of a sculptor who steps back to assess his work. Being together as a couple often means being able to trust your partner to be your teammate and your fellow collaborator on the long journey of life. Okay, and this card was what? Reversed. It was reversed. So she doesn't trust that he is capable of being on this long journey of life. Now let's break this down even further. When we break it down even further, you guys already know that I operate off of imagery. So we're going to pull the past on up here with what's to come because, and I believe I said this in the beginning, if you don't deal with the past, you can't go forward, all right? The past will keep on appearing in your present going forward if you don't deal with your past. So, here we go with the imagery. As soon as I saw that Three of Pentacles in the past from this Eight of Pentacles, yes, I thought the carving was beautiful. And it represents a woodworker who steps back to study an elaborate carving of the Three of Pentacles. He's trying to decide if he wants to embellish his work. Here we are at what's to come, which is the Three of Pentacles in reverse. All right, now I'm showing it upright, but if I were to show it in reverse, it'd be right down there with that Three of Pentacles carved. But this one is so similar because it's a sculptor who steps back to assess his work. She does not trust that he's capable to work together to meet her goal. And herein lies the issue once again because it's her goal. She's stepping back, and I'm very sure that she believes in her mind that her goal is their goal. But what she thought about in the past has come full circle to what's to come in her mind. It's the same thing. And they're both stepping back to look at their work, okay? And trying to assess, in the past, she's trying to assess if she should add something to it, like maybe sprinkle this marriage with pregnancy, perhaps, allegedly, perhaps, maybe. Perhaps. And I'm not saying that that's the case, although the mother card did come up. But what I'm saying is that this person in the past was stepping back, looking at their work and trying to see if they should embellish it. And then here we are all the way at the end, the fifth card, what's to come, and they still looking back at their work. They're standing back, doing the same thing, but at this point, what's to come, they're not so sure if, he's in it in order to, tough enough, strong enough, in it for the long run to meet her goal. The issue is that it's always been her goal. Just like that soldier was looking forward, while the other soldier that's all beat up and showing distress is looking at that soldier. The soldier to the left is looking forward, and they've covered up their wounds because their wounds are inside. Let's keep going. So, in all honesty, I had to just intercept real quick and say how I feel. At some point, Brittany, it's okay to admit that the image of your relationship is far from true, far from perfect. Okay? There are a lot of women who have gone through this similar situation. You are affected just as they were, and they changed courses, and they are still all wonderfully fabulous. It's still early for you. You can do it. Okay? You can do it. It's still early, but you seem like the type. I'm just saying. You seem like the type that you just might just hang on until there's nothing left to hang on to. And I don't suggest that. But we'll see what happens, right? There is good news. We are talking about what's to come, and the clarifiers, they're good news. Okay, so the first clarifier for what's to come of that card was the Three of Pentacles reversed. But the first clarifier is good karma around the corner, and that was upright. This means that you have put out good energy into the universe, and the universe is returning your kindness. If you have not experienced your good karma as of yet, it's coming. So, this is saying, which is like I just said, you still have an opportunity to turn this around, okay? The energy that you've put out, in my opinion, in Indigo Sage's opinion, it seems a bit funk. But as I just said, like, you're young, it's early, you still have an opportunity, which, first of all, no matter what age you are, we all have um, our free will. We all have free will. No matter what age, no matter what's going on, we all have free will. But what I'm saying in this case, directly to Brittany, is that you're young enough to where, like, I'm getting a sense that you feel stuck and stagnant, and you are neither of those. You may feel stagnant for lack of creativity because I think you feel like the only place you can go right now is pregnancy. But the stuck part is all in your mind, and again, that's you painting yourself in a corner. And you did it even more when you openly admitted that you write your stories like scripts, and you've went on social media and said that you have a show, which you may have a show. I'm not saying you guys don't have a show coming out. I don't know what you got. Abracadabra, you can film anywhere, okay, and have a show. All right, I have a show. This is your show. Get your news. But what I'm saying is that it's not too late for you to turn it into whatever it is that will put a real smile on your face. Get into that. The second clarifier is listen more, talk less. You are speaking so much that you end up not allowing the other person to express their thoughts. Allow them to think for themselves. Now more than ever, listen to the divine. To do that effectively, you've got to be quiet. Point blank, period. The energy influence. The energy influence is the bonus card. I, as a tarot reader, do discuss the energy influence because it's just like the roots of the tree, okay? This whole reading, we can imagine that it's like a tree. If we were to do that, the energy influence are the roots. All the rest of the cards is the trunk, the branches, the leaves, the flowers, the fruit. And you've got to start at the root of this reading. is the energy influence. The energy influence is the sun, the sun card. Sun card is a beautiful, wonderful card. Okay? The sun is the symbol of consciousness and action. In reverse, something is preventing you from seeing the positive in your relationship. The sun showed up in reverse as Brittany's energy. Something is preventing you from seeing the positive in your relationship. She believes the whole universe revolves around her. She has unrealistic expectations due to her vanity and perhaps narcissism. She may be caught in a trap of egotism, showing that she has yet to reach maturity. And lack of maturity on her part has been in the shadows of this entire reading, okay? So it is what it is, and it looks quite accurate, allegedly, and in my opinion. And the way this breaks down, being clarified, the energy influence, first clarifier is simply an image of red headphones with a red speaker. And it just simply means ignoring you due to anger. They do not hear a word you are saying. Immature reaction due to unexpressed anger. I feel like Brittany did not listen to what Ray was saying in whatever situation that was a crucial turning point. She was not listening due to anger, and it was an immature way to express how she was feeling. That clarified is a card that represents codependency, and the codependency that they have upon each other makes it hard to walk away. Okay? And I think that's for both of them. So let's keep going. Here's the quote that I felt most appropriate. Rose colored glasses are never made in bifocals. Nobody wants to read the small print in dreams. If that don't remind me of Miss Brittany, I don't know what does. She has on rose colored glasses right now. Maybe she's just now taking them off. But rose colored glasses are never made in bifocals. Nobody wants to read the small print in dreams. You better take them off and see whatever it is that you need to see. Okay? And I'm not saying to go either way. That's their marriage, their relationship. I just read cards. And this is Indigo Sage, and I just read cards, okay? And I want to thank all of my sages for your support, okay? And I want to remind you to please click like and subscribe. Ring that bell because I will be finishing my other two mansplaining. All right? I am going to do that. But ring that bell, click like, click subscribe. Thank you so much for your support. Bye.